You didn't see the sparring footage. You saw the clip of the sparring footage. You didn't see the sparring footage. They couldn't let you see the sparring footage. Definitely not.
Francis, thanks so much for your time. A huge fight this weekend, your first heavyweight title defence. Does it feel a little bit different going into this one?
No, really different, but as a champion, you have more pressure of like defending the belt as opposed of like a contender.
How do you feel entering a fight? No longer the hunter, I guess. You're now the hunted.
I'm still the I'm still the hunter. I'm still the hunter. That's like my approach. I'm going to the fight just like somebody who has something to prove, who has something to win. You know, I'm still the hunter.
And I guess there is just so much hype around this fight. Dana White saying it's one of the biggest pay-per-views they've ever put on. Do you feel a pressure to deliver under what's such a big stage?
Well, I think it's been a moment that I've been in the stage, in the big stage. I can't even tell the comparison of it, the difference, but yeah, I mean, there's a pressure. You are going there to fight. There's a big challenge and everything. Yes, obviously there's a pressure about that, but other than that, I don't feel any different pressure.
And you know your opponent Ciryl Gane so well, being former teammates. How are you expecting to combat him this weekend?
Well, I know him a little bit, not so well. I cannot say as a former teammate because we didn't know each other for that long. We trained, I mean, maybe 6 times, and that was all. So I don't think it's enough to pretend to know someone, and that was 3 years ago. So it doesn't really matter because we didn't have to know each other very well, and we both been improving since then.
Now, he's obviously such a technical fighter. His footwork's amazing, but you, of course, have that one-punch knockout skills. How do you think you'll match up against each other? Of course, you also have a diverse arsenal as well as your immense power.
I have a diverse arsenal, and that's what makes me a champ. So I'm not just here because I have a one punch, and otherwise, I believe so many people would be here. And I like to quote Teddy Atlas, who always say like, you can have the biggest missile ever, and if you don't have a good delivery system, you won't hit anything. But you can have a 9 mm and be able to aim and hit your target, and you can cause a damage. So power to be delivered need a good delivery system, which is what I have. So it's the biggest asset in the fight. If everybody could have gone out there and hit somebody, they would have been win a fight. So it's a skills, and even the most important skills.
Yeah, certainly right. We saw some sparring footage released of you and Ciryl fighting. You said you didn't know him that well and wasn't too involved in him for that long. So what did you think when that footage came out? Do you think his camp manipulated it and potentially deliberately leaked it?
Yeah, absolutely. You didn't see the sparring footage. You saw the clip of the sparring footage. You didn't see the sparring footage. They couldn't let you see the sparring footage. Definitely not.
So you think it's something that's come from their camp in the lead up?
I know. I don't think. I know for fact.
And what does that do to the build up to this, I guess? It does seem that there is some genuine bad blood between the two of you. Do you feel that?
There is not a genuine bad blood between the two of us. This is a made up. Everybody want to take this to solve his own matter, put his problem in this, and like pretend like we're having bad blood. Ciryl and I, personally, we have no history. basically no history of bad blood at all. For me, he's the opponent, and I do believe that for him, I'm just the opponent, and that's it. There's not a bad blood. Everybody want to take this, sneak behind this, and solve his own problem, and they say, it's a bad blood, bad blood. It's not a bad blood.
What about your ex-coach in Fernandez Lopez? He thinks he can train Ciryl to beat you because he does know you quite well. What do you think about comments like that?
Well, good luck on Saturday.
Simple as that.
Yeah, simple as that. Good luck on Saturday.
Speaking of Saturday, given your background and it's so well documented and you've become such an inspiration, I guess, amongst UFC fans, given everything that you've been through in your life, what's it like and what would it mean to get a win like this on the weekend in the context of all of that?
You know, I think he will mean the same thing as a win in the life. You know, for me personally, like my win is not. My biggest win is not in the octagon. I love what's happening in the octagon. I love the success that I'm having in the octagon, which is great, and I'm inspired to be having more. But that's not my biggest win. You know, regardless what it seems like, my biggest win is a life achievement. If me overcoming obstacles, my biggest win is like me having a right mindset and take a right decision and put myself where I am. My biggest win is like me being the underdog and then still make it where I am, still make it the champion of the world, the number one. You know, regardless what happened, I know and I'm happy of that accomplishment. That's my satisfaction. That's my bigger win. I could have never be a UFC champion. I would have still be okay. I would have still be champion in my mind because I knew that I always fight and I never give up. So that's my bigger win. My biggest win is not the one inside of it.
And that underdog mentality will certainly serve you well this weekend, that's for sure. Just finally, there's been a lot of talk about your contract and your future in the UFC. Have you let that distract you? Have you been able to zone it out in the lead up?
I'm doing my best. You know, at this point, it's not like I have a choice of what I'm gonna think about since everything is coming up at the same time. You know, I'm doing my best to avoid all the contract stuff, not to think about it, just to focus on the fight. You know, and at some point, I do believe that so many things around here has been brought up just to distract me. So I'm trying, honestly, to fight all that and to prove that wrong, to stay focused.
And Francis, you do have such a following here in Australia, very much loved. Do you have a word for your Australian fans as you head into the weekend?
Absolutely, absolutely. And before you said that, I'm not taking any credit for what you said, but I do know and notice that I have a lot of fans from Australia, and I feel the love from my fans in Australia, from Australia, by like comments and like all the support that they send over, and you know, always appreciate that, the support, the truth, you know, the real one, the real fans. Always be grateful for everyone who take a time to support me, to stand by my side, you know, fighting for all of us, you know, giving my best.
Well, you'll certainly have lots of Australians behind you this weekend, Francis. Best of luck at UFC 270. We can't wait to see you in action.
Thank you, Isabella. Have a good night.